Alright, so I said I was going to use super user. I keep saying super user. I should say switch user, which is SU. Now we can use SU to switch the context of what we're working in to another user. So I'll create a user add. We did let's see, Ronald, permission denied. So I'll type in sudo. Sudo and SU are related. Sudo is sort of almost call it a one-time use. It's not exactly a one-time use thing. You'll see how this works out, but it's more temporary than SU. So if we were to get SU, well, let me just demonstrate. So I'm going to user add Ronald. I have to put in the John password. User add just creates a user, doesn't create a password. We're going to use a different command for that. A very important distinction you're going to need to understand for the A+. The difference between PWD, which we already know is present working directory, and password, PASSWD. You'll see it in a second. All right, so my password here. So there we go. And let's see if I remember the syntax right. Password. We're going to need sudo again. Password Ronald. Enter in the new password here. Enter it in a second time to confirm. And that is passwd. PWD tells you where you are directory-wise. Password changes passwords. Okay, so we created a Ronald. Now I'm going to switch user to Ronald. Put in his password. Maybe. There we go. And you can see how the user has changed. Ronald at John-virtualbox. I can still see everything. All right, but if I do an ls-l, the -l is for long form. We're seeing on the left-hand side read, write, and execute permissions for that directory or file on the left. That's the D. D is for directory. So if you look at the top here, oops, there we go. D is for directory, RWX, read, write, execute. That's what the creator of that folder would, in this case, John. And you see that there, that first John next to the 2. That is the owner of that particular file or directory. And the next John that you see there is a group name. So there's a John group. We created Ronald, we've created Tom. There will also be Tom groups and Ronald groups automatically created when we create those users. Then in the middle here, R-X. There we go. Read, no write, execute. So if we were try, that is the group permissions. So we got Ronald. Let's see if I can change to desktop. I'm in now the desktop folder in John inside the home directory. So I'll do an ls, got nothing there. Let's see if I can create a file. 1.txt. Permission denied. It's because I'm not John currently. You'll also notice that it stays in the Ronald login. So let's switch back to John. And now I'm back here. Now I can type in the touch file, obviously, because it's my folder, my directory. There you go. And if you're paying attention, this magically appeared as soon as I hit enter there. So let's remove file1.txt. There we go. All right, so that's switch user. The most common time that you're going to use switch user for in a Linux environment up until recently has been to become root. Now, here's the thing. You're not going to see this switch over to root because there's this authentication failure. Ubuntu does a very smart thing. It doesn't let you do anything logged on as root. You have to use sudo to get those temporary root permissions to do installs, to do config changes, that sort of thing. So you will not see in this demonstration root access. Sudo is just going to have to work for you at this particular time. All right. Some navigation techniques. We did CD, downloads. We've done ls. See that? We did cat, file3.txt, to see what's in there. CD ... to go back. What else? We might want to make a directory. Now, Windows, you have MD. MD will not work. So, command cannot be found. But what will work, MD will not work. What will work is mkdir. That command also works in the Windows environment. All right, make directory. And here we'll do documents, lowercase. All right, and when we see documents, we see the uppercase documents, we see the lowercase. All right. If I want to remove what I just created there, if I wanted to remove a directory, I've got to sort of populate some stuff here. So let's do a CD. Let's do this. touch/documents. We'll see if this works. File 1. Cannot touch it. Okay. We will change. So we got file 1, we got put in file 2. Confirm that they're there. Okay. We want to remove those. Alright. RM is what you're going to use to remove files. You cannot use that. You cannot use RM on a directory. It's just for files. You'll use rmdir, remove directory. You hit enter here. Failed to remove documents directory, not empty. I wanted to show that to you. So let's do rm/documents Let's see if that works. Okay, that didn't work. RM file 1 and file 2. That worked. Go back a level. Now let's do that remove directory. Oops. Documents. And you can see the lowercase documents has gone away. Next utility I like to show you is shutdown. You have shutdown-s, which will shut the machine down. You have shutdown-r, which will restart it. The next is number of minutes that it will take until you do the actual shutdown. So if you want to give your users 1 minute, you give them 1 minute. If you're going to give them 10, you type in shutdown-r and then 10. We will not do either of those, any of those. We will do it now. That's the way you would type it in if you wanted to do the shutdown or the restart immediately. So once I hit enter, it does this. I'm going to do a quick pause because it's going to take a couple minutes for it to come back up.